Should you be reading the tape? Do you need a chart like this showing the buyers and sellers at every single price point? I used to trade with this chart for over 3 years. I was in a trade room that specifically traded this chart and order flow. I had automated software that automatically bought when there was buy imbalances or sell imbalances. If you're trading something that moves a little bit slower, like the ES or bonds or something like that, yeah, I think this can be a great tool. If you're trading the NASDAQ, I think it's not very helpful. See, on a NASDAQ chart, just to look at the last, I mean, this is a huge move, but the NASDAQ moves big all the time. It's really hard to see the numbers. You can see all the imbalances here as it's just dropping, and all the imbalances, the buying imbalances that it was creating as it rose, and now they're going to potentially act as support. So yeah, something like this could be really helpful for some people. I tried it for years. I never had consistent success. I found once I simplified things and focused more on basic price action, basic volume profile stuff, basic support and resistance, pivot points, VWAP, all I really needed to see was the total bar delta, which, you know, it's printing above these candles, the total delta for each candle. That's all I really needed to see. And sometimes I've got the cumulative delta down here. That just simplified my world and allowed me to stay focused and not be chasing 1,000 different parameters before I take a trade. When I finally simplified everything, that was when I was able to have consistent profits. And that's the thing about trading, you're just going to have to figure it out for yourself, because it's going to be different for every single person. This is one of the first order flows I got from NINZA. Shows all the imbalances in green and red. Here's one from NINZA. Here's another one from NINZA that's just catching like all these different order flow patterns, which I found to actually be pretty useless. But I like just having the bar delta. I like having volume profile, I like having the total delta per bar, and then I like having all my Bollinger Bands, my SMAs, my support and resistance. Super clean charts. I can see the candlesticks real easy. I can see more of the price action. I don't have to have these giant, huge, fat candles so I can see all the numbers. And again, on the ES, it's easier to see than the NASDAQ. And there's a way to change this, but it changes every NASDAQ chart on your system. You can change the way the NASDAQ prices show up on your charts. So instead of 4 ticks for every point, you could just combine all those 4 into 1 point. Or you could have it print every 2 points, and then it would compress this down into a smaller chart. I tried that for a while too. I didn't find it very helpful. And I do like having the level 2 data on the side sometimes, seeing all the orders. I like using the free version that I can just attach to any chart, the EDS level 2. And with the rhythmic data, I can see unlimited order levels, so I can see all the orders, you know, from top to bottom on the chart. It's a nice substitute if you don't want to have to use Bookmap or something like that. I just find that I don't use the level 2 data as much, but sometimes if I feel like paying the extra 10 bucks, I'll get it. But does this style of trading work? Absolutely, for some people. Some people make their living trading Renko charts. Some people are swing traders. Some people make their living scalping. So many options. Here you can see all the sell imbalances coming down. Then we start to get a few buy imbalances here. And then price starts popping up a little bit. So you can see when trends might be potentially reversing. But for me, all I need to see is the bar delta, got the cumulative delta, got my various volume profiles, got my support and resistance lines, I got moving averages, got my Bollinger Bands, I'm good. But yeah, look at this freaking NQ chart. I mean, you can't even see the whole chart if you're trying to look at the numbers. ES chart, way easier to see. So depending on what instrument you trade, you know, it might be better or worse to try to use order flow chart like this. I did this for years, looking at these. Never did it for me. But trying everything that you're called to, I think is a good thing. Figuring it all out for yourself is a necessity. I also used to use a ton of different indicators that would print signals left and right, and I still kind of use them off and on, but 90% of the time all I have is the basic candlesticks, my bar delta, my volume profiles, my support and resistance, and some moving averages. That's it. Try to keep it as simple as possible, but seeing the basics of what I need to see. There's so many videos out on order flow these days. It's amazing what's on YouTube now compared to when I started out. I spent so much money on education and courses and indicators. It's ridiculous. Now you really can get most everything for free on YouTube, although you have to scour through so much BS. It's crazy. The world of trading is pretty crazy in general, but I hope you got something good from watching. Best of luck in your trading.